the heel of a man who prays. AKAVYA-ben Mahalalel. There was a leader after the passing of Hillel the Elder, who was a man of unbending character, and his name was AKAVYA. AKAVYA literally means the heel. And the reason perhaps why he was called the heel, not because he was impolite, but because the heel can go where the rest of the body refuses. And AKAVYA was determined to keep God's Torah irrespective of the circumstances that surrounded him. And in fact taught many succeeding generations how to perform the Torah and never to sin. And he said the following: Histakel b'shloshet dvarim, gaze at three things, and you will never come to the possibility of sin. Da me'ayin bosa, know from where you came, u'lo'on ata holech, and where you are going. Lifnei mi ata osid litein din v'cheshbon, and before whom you're going to make an accounting of your life. Realize, he says, that you come from a smelly drop, and you're going to a place filled with maggots and worms, and you're going to have to face the Almighty God for an accounting on everything you've done. The amazing thing about AKAVYA's statement is that we have a similar statement in the previous chapter of the Ethics of the Fathers, said by Rabbeinu HaKodesh, known as Rebbe, who also says that there are three things that help a person never to come to the possibility of sin. And Rebbe says, Histakel b'shloishet dvorim, gaze at these three things, v'ataboli di'aver, you never come to sinning. Da, you should know that there is an eye that sees, an ear that hears, and all of your activities are recorded in a book. And that if you think about this, that there's always somebody looking at you and listening to what you're saying and understanding the motive of what you're saying, and that nothing gets lost, nothing is ever forgotten. You will never come to a sin. If that's the case, you won't come to sin by listening to Rebbe's advice. Why do we need the advice of AKAVYA? And the answer lies in the development of the character of the person. Initially, a person does things not because it's right, but because someone is watching. Someone is taking score. And at the very end of the game, prizes will be distributed or punishments will be handed out. And so when a person recognizes that there's an eye that sees and an ear that hears and everything is recorded, that presents the person with the fear of God, that somehow or other God will get to him at one point. It's not an internal kind of thing. It's not because you want to, it's because you have to. What AKAVYA was doing was trying to work on the internal mechanism of the person. Why is it that we sin? Why is it that we would swindle someone with a Ponzi scheme? The answer is not because we can do it, but we consider ourselves more important than other people. We consider our happiness and our success as more, not just important, but more essential than the other person. Our roles in life are clearly, the world revolves about us. When a person feels that way, that he's more important, that he has a greater role to play, that the world needs his success more than others, and this person is ready to destroy other people, irrespective of what the consequences might be, just for his own advancement. In order to do what's right, it's not enough sometimes for a person like that to recognize that God is watching, because right now he's having a good time. Right now it's important. And even what God sees, God doesn't realize just how important this is to him. And if he does realize, God would forgive him. And so the person, in order to get over this problem of selfishness and arrogance, the person must focus as to what the person really was at one time. And you may say, well, I was a smelly drop at one time. But now, look at me. Handsome, rich, powerful, influential. No, you aren't finished yet. You haven't gotten where you have to go. You started off as a smelly drop, and you wind up as putrid meat in a place of maggots and worms. And maybe you'll think, well, but in the meantime, I'll enjoy it. That's it, life is short. There's nothing else but this life, and I got only one crack at it, I might as well enjoy it. So AKAVYA says, no. Your life continues after death, and you'll have to face God with it. And so the purpose of AKAVYA's advice is to work on yourself internally. But AKAVYA's advice is only temporary. Because even if you consider yourself not any more important than the other person, even if your life of desire is only going to lead to more maggots and worms eating your body, nonetheless, it still doesn't work completely, because that's just saying you're not any more important than the other person. But why would you do the right thing? And this is, once you've started working on yourself internally, you come to the final stage where what you do is not because of what's going to happen and how embarrassed you're going to be standing in front of God. That becomes irrelevant. You become convinced that life is about doing what's right. And if I do what's right, I won't be afraid to stand before